మూర్తి యాక్చువల్గా చాలా ఇయర్స్ యుఎస్లో ఉన్నారు. యుఎస్లో ఉన్న తర్వాత ఒక 13-14 ఇయర్స్ అక్కడ ఉన్న తర్వాత తనకు అనిపించింది ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు గో బ్యాక్ టు ఇండియా అండ్ ఐ వాంట్ టు సర్వ్ ఇండియా అని అనుకొని హీ హెస్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు ఇండియా. సో చాలా మంచి గోల్స్తో, చాలా గొప్ప విజన్తో వచ్చారు ఇండియాని సర్వ్ చేయాలని, ఇండియాలో ఉన్న వాళ్ళ కోసం నేను నిలబడాలన్నట్టుగా హీఈస్ బ్యాక్ టు ఇండియా.
You know why I did this? Because you guys been in the program for 4-5 days. I see the energy, so you're all coming opposite to me. I'm asking him, support me so that, I can face you guys. So he is the inspiration. Swami Vivekananda is always inspiration to me. See, I was like few years before, I was the other side, now I am this side. So it's only few feet away, but it took so long for me, realize what it is. And JD sir said, topic, I think you guys all know, you're master of it, creating your career. I mean, you have seen a lot of people talked about the career. So here, I just want to explain, in the sense go through my life, right? How I made choices. So this is majorly on career by choice. So here, there are different options, but how do we make a better choice? Every time we have some options in front of us. His wife is next to him and he is waving hands because he just won. He is very active. He is waving his hand saying, he won and waving. So he is going on a procession and he is keep whispering to his wife, right? So he saw somebody, he saw his wife is coming from a poor family, right? This guy is gone up in his career and he became a governor or mayor or whatever, right? So he saw his wife's family, which is poor, and this lady was supposed to get married to somebody else, and then luckily, he got married to this lady, and he says, see, if you didn't marry to me, you would have working in a small gas station or your small store, right? See, now you're so comfortable, you married to a mayor, but in turn what she says is, since you got married to me, you became mayor. It's not the other way. If I would have married that guy, the other guy, the poor guy, he would have become the mayor, right? So that is the strength, that is the confidence that we need to have. Never ever underestimate yourself, right? So everybody has the same potential. We just have to realize, and the path we go through, we explore those treasures. Right? So keeping that aside, let's go through, my topic here is career by choice. How do you choose? So you've been reading and you've been planning for your career. Could you define what is career? What is career? So do you need it? Actually, do you need a career? Then what it is? When you're thirsty, you need water, right? So you're saying you need career, but what it is? Hard work. See, we'll look at some basics, and obviously you're far away from the basics, but just we'll go revisit things so that we'll understand from the score. Yeah, you're talking about many types of career, but what the career itself? To achieve something in your life, yeah. It's a platform, and it takes you forward. Okay. It gives one and all. So it's a platform. He's saying career is a platform. So what I was thinking is the career, any career you choose, it has to take you from point A to point B in your life through a progressive manner. It is not okay, you're on the top, you're coming down. Do you say it is career? Anybody chooses that? Do you want a career where it brings you down? Where it takes a significant time of your life. So whichever is taking you a significant time of your life through a profession, and it is giving you a progressive growth. Is it? Can we call this career? Can we call this career, or is there any other definition to career? Then we'll talk about if it is it needed or not, right? You guys are just entering, planning all your career. Do we need, or I can just live like this, I get money, I live it. Right? So it takes enough time and it makes you moving forward, right? So why we need career, right? Is it like, okay, if it's not taking from point A to point B, can we call it as career, right? So these 4 elements has to be satisfied. Then only you say you need career. Otherwise, actually, we don't need, right? So these 4 points are like you should be in professional or whatever field you choose. You have to be growing from point A to point B. Yes? And personal satisfaction, whatever you do, it has to give you a personal satisfaction, right? So these are the 4 reasons, and explore your skills. You have many skills, but how do you explore? Unless until you have a roadmap, how do you explore your skills? You don't even know what skills you have, right? How do you build on those skills? So the third one is like very essential. Once you have the goal and then you basically define your career, you work towards that and you explore your skills, right? And prioritizing activities in life. So this is, everybody is not same at every time, right? Every period of your life is changing. So you're a bachelor now, tomorrow you're married, and in the future you get kids. So it is changing, your life is changing. So it helps you prioritizing those, right? It helps you prioritizing those. So what are the options you have in career? How do you choose? Today in India, like what happens, right? So career happens like by 3 ways. One is by example, right? So you might have seen like how many of your father's friends or mother's friends saying, my daughter did this, my son did this, and he went here, he did this, he achieved this. You also do this, right? So people might have faced this. So that is by example. They are saying, my son has gone through this path and he is reached. But they have to realize that his son is different and you are different. Your core strengths are different, his core strengths are different. His lifestyle is different, his family style is different. What parameters he got in his life are totally different. But a lot of times happens, even in my case it happened, but you have to resist, right? A lot of people push by, okay, you take medicine, she took the medicine and she became doctor. Is it guaranteed that everybody takes MBBS becomes a doctor? But our parents are very, very optimistic, they take this, they push this, and they end up deciding our career. So this happens by example. The next thing is, so if you do the example is like a mock-up. I don't know if you have seen the movie, right? So this is the version line. See if you mock up, how does it look like? Right? So do you like that? But many example is like this. Many times it happens this way. Right? And the next thing is the chance. So how many times you have gone to an enrollment or you have gone to your counseling. The one you wanted was not there. But it is, you're pushed to take something. How many of you are, victims of that? You wanted to do something, you wanted to do computers, but there is only mechanical seat available. Right? So in the university or in the college you wanted. Right? So how many of you like faced this? This is the only chance you got, right? And you have to take it. It is not giving you the chance, but there is no other way to go around, right? So when you go either example or by chance, what happens, right? So you go on this thin line because your inner core strengths, your inner desire is wanted you to go somewhere else. Right? But you are going in the other direction, which is a big question mark where it would lead to, because you don't have focus, you don't have core strengths to support it, right? So it is a confuse. So, and also when you don't have the interest, just because it happened, I took it, or just because somebody told, I took it. So over the time, you don't explore your skills. What happens is you try to find the reasons. You try to find the reasons, right? You try to find the reasons not to do it. If there is a no power, you say, no power, how can I read? Right? But if it is an interesting topic, you like it, you will find a candle and put it and read it. Right? So that is what happens when over the time, if you choose the career by either chance or by example. So the last one is the choice. Right? So when you keep now if you think of, okay, what choice I should take? Right? How do you decide? What is my choice? Because there are so many choices and you don't know how to evaluate yourself. Which choice I should make? Which direction I should go? Is it like that there are so many jobs available, I should do engineering? Or is that, is the software is really booming field, I should go into software? Or what are the parameters you choose so that you make a choice and you evaluate your skills, right? So when you choose your choice, right? So what happens is, a lot of people, there is a negativity, right? They depress you, they make you like, go down. This is not the way to go, right? So many, the negations happens, right? How do you survive those? So before going here, how do you evaluate, like what are the choices you can make? How do you make your choice, right? Know your interests and skills. So there are few parameters you will take into consideration. How do you evaluate your skills? What skills you have? You need to understand your interest and likes, right? And dislikes. And also every skill has a value. Every skill has a value. Don't ever underestimate. See, today, some years back, agriculture didn't have that glow, right? Whereas the software had a glow. But now, if you see, the agriculture is the number one, is like a lot of research happening. So every skill, any industry has a potential. You just don't need to ignore, and you respect the skill. And wherever you go, like there are daughters. These are called daughters. Whoever negate, whoever downgrade, or whoever pull you down, are the daughters. So daughters is DOTERS, right? So they put a dot in your painting. You want, like, you choose your career, you nicely paint it or whatever. They put, okay, this is the mistake, this is the mistake, this is the mistake, right? This is the mistakes you are doing. But they haven't done the evaluation on you. So it is easy to pinpoint, right? So you have to choose. You have to, face this and then, push them back. Right? Execute the best way. So, okay, once you evaluated your skills, you identified your skill set, you identified your strengths, right? And how do you execute, right? It should be like executing, like it's like Picasso, right? When he does painting, is a masterpiece. Even if he doesn't sleep, he does a masterpiece. How it has happened. It took for him 30 years to reach the stage. So when you choose your choice, and when you choose your skill, to go on, right? At least it needs 10 years good time, 10 good years to see the results, or to become a genius in that field. And always execute the difficult task first, right? And generally what we do is, like, we take the smaller task and finish it, and we are comfortable. So how do you push your potential? How do you push your potential? Unless you take the hard tasks, and push your limits. Right? If you take I'll take some of the few Western examples. Like if you take Michael Jordan, he says, who is your competitor? Who is working against? He says himself. Right? So you push your limits so that you will basically, become better at that. So there is a never late, and Sanders at 60, he is a KFC guy, he's never late. So when you choose something, don't even, like, whatever time it takes, you should be still working towards it. He achieved something at age 60. So these are some of the thoughts I had. So I hope, like, maybe it helped a little bit. So thank you. Yeah. For any information, like, please drop me an email. Then, I will reply.